Hey, this is Brian. Welcome back to the Disturbing Illusion channel. Tariffs and polling numbers. Tariffs are taxes. Polling numbers are smokescreens to hide the real issue of who owns this country and who controls the political parasites. Nevertheless, we are in a dog and pony show, and because it's a show, it is very entertaining. And here was Trump's telephonic appearance on Squawk Box as he first talks about tariffs, and second, he lies about his own polling numbers. But first, Trump gives his thoughts about illegal immigrants who are irreplaceable because there's not a lot of people out there who want to do that work.
I just want to hear you clearly. You're saying the people who have been here for years and who have been even paying taxes, you're going to look at them very differently, and maybe they belong here in the workforce?
I want to work with them, and in some cases, we're sending them back to their country with a pass back in legally, and we're doing things that are very difficult to do and very complex, but it works really well. We're sending them back, and then they're schooling, they're learning, they're coming in legally. We have a lot of that going on, but we're taking care of our farmers. We can't let our farmers not have anybody. These people that you can't replace them very easily. People that live in the inner city are not doing that work. They're just not doing that work. And they've tried, we've tried, everybody tried. They don't do it. These people do it naturally. I said, what happens if they get it to a farmer the other day? What happens if they get a bad back? He said, they don't get a bad back, sir, because if they get a bad back, they die. I said, that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, what's really interesting is that he's going to look at, oh, wait a second. No, we need those people, so we won't deport them. The farmers are rising up and calling Trump and telling him, hey, you're taking our workforce. If you continue to take our workforce and nobody wants to do these jobs, nobody's going to be picking our vegetables and working in the fields. So you're going to have some major shortages, major food shortages, major high prices, and you're going to send the entire economy into the tailspin. And Trump is going, well, maybe we give them a pass to exit so that they can have a pass to come back in legally. So what he's saying is, well, we'll deport some of those people, but the people that we really, really need, we're going to go ahead and keep them picking our fruits and vegetables so we don't have all these high prices, so I don't really look that bad.
These are very, in many ways, they're very, very special people. Okay, go ahead.
No. Okay, so, here we go. So you did get the highest number of votes in Texas, so that's true. But when you were talking about...
then you don't have to say anything more, Joe.
I got to say this.
No, don't say anything more.
No,
don't qualify it by saying, I got the highest number of votes in the history of Texas.
I'm moving on to your claim that revision helped Biden hurt you for the 800,000. It was in August. There was still plenty of time for voters to see that those weren't real jobs.
After the election in November, I believe it was in November something, there was a massive revision downward.
The first one, the 800,000 or 900,000, I think, was in August, and then later it came out in March of 2025. It went to 598, not 818. But the original one.
Listen, 598. But there were other revisions downward from prior to the election because the numbers were rigged. Okay, and as you said, the number. Look, you take a look after the election. How many revisions downward there were? But let's get back to Texas, because you said you were going to say something else. I got the highest vote in the history of Texas, a record that they say won't be beaten unless I run again.
Are you going to run again? The
no,
Constitution
probably not.
Okay.
Probably not.
And you're not going to fire Jay Powell. We'll go all talk about all the stuff that.
Hey, Becky, I'd like to run. I have the best poll numbers I've ever had. You know why? Because people love the tariffs, and they love the trade deal, and they love that foreign countries aren't ripping us off anymore. For years, they ripped us off, friend and foe.
People love the tariffs. They love the extra taxes. They love to pay more because they love me. Remember what a tariff is. A tariff is just a tax. When those imported goods come in at the border, the company in the United States pays that extra tariff, and because they're a profit-based company, they pass on those tax expenditures to the consumer, and everybody pays higher prices. It may not happen immediately, but it does eventually happen. Those prices creep up, and the prices usually never go down after that. So everybody pays higher prices because of the tariffs, which are really taxes, and nobody likes paying higher prices. It's just a lie.
Overall poll numbers, you don't. Overall
What?
poll numbers, you don't have the best you ever had in overall poll numbers. You do. I cited one of those.
I have the best poll numbers I've ever had.
Among
I
Republicans.
have poll numbers where I'm 71%. I have the best poll numbers. Look,
those are among Republicans.
Yep.
You know you've got.
No. Among Republicans, I'm at 94 and 95%. No, I'm talking about generally. I have the. Let me put it this way: there was a gentleman.
Trump is delusional. Now, before he talks about Harry Emden, which is really Harry Enten, let me just show you this graph right here. This is from The Economist. 198 days. This is up to date, up to August 6th. 198 days into Trump's term, the president's net approval rating is, look at this, negative 14. Obama at this point in his term was positive 8. Biden was positive 3. Trump is negative 14%. That's from his first term and from his second term. So he's up 0.4 points since last week, 41% approval rating, 51% disapprove, and 4% not sure. And nobody's sure why Trump keeps lying against poll numbers, which consistently don't swing in his favor.
On Harry Emden yesterday on CNN, and he went crazy over how well Trump was doing. Now, you don't put that on because I think CBS is a shade. Actually, CNN's a shade better than NBC. I think NBC is probably the worst of them all. But if you check CNN tomorrow, watch Harry Emden, and you'll see about the numbers. But that's okay. We have to defend ourselves, Joe.
Let's check in with CNN and Harry Emden. See what they say.
Tonight, check.
And remember, this is the Counterfeit News Network. It's the Communist News Network. It's the Clinton News Network. They're not interested in truth. We are looking at this from a purely entertainment dog and pony show perspective.
CNN. That's a quote from President Trump, who also gave a shout out to a friend of the show while spinning his polling. All right, we don't have to wait until tomorrow. With us now is Harry Enten. We couldn't find Harry Emden. Harry Enten, it's great to see you. What's it feel like?
It could have been far worse. I am thinking of going down to the courthouse in New York when I get back to change my name. That was what some of my friends suggested. I also think it could have been that he could have given me a nickname, right? I could have been Low Energy Harry.
By the way, Trump did post a couple weeks ago on his Truth Social a segment that Harry Enten was in on CNN where he was talking about the favorability rating of his poll numbers among Republicans, and the fact that even with the Jeffrey Epstein debacle, he didn't really lose any voters. He actually gained on the Republican side, which tells you everything you need to know about how the Republicans are chugging the Kool-Aid.
But there are good things about this. It gave me an excuse to contact my mother, which I don't do quite nearly enough. And you know what? He recognizes, the President of the United States, that we give him a fair shake on CNN, whether it be Newsnight here or CNC News Central from 7 to 10 a.m. I'm usually on in the 8 o'clock hour.
Which is why if we did give you a nickname, Harry, it would be Sweet Cheeks. We appreciate the plug there for the morning show.
Thank you.
Listen, was the president correct about the polling, though?
No, I don't think the president was correct. I give him a fair shake. I don't give him a positive spin.
I don't think the president was correct, or nope, the president absolutely wasn't correct. Which one is it?
Look, he is not at the highest point he's ever been. Take a look at his net approval rating, where it is right now. It's negative. He's underwater, right? You compare that to where he was at the beginning of this term. He was 6 points above water. Now he's 9 points below water. If we are comparing him to other presidents at this point in their presidencies, he is the second lowest on record compared only to himself who does worse. If we're comparing him to other second terms, he's certainly in the bottom of the list, not nearly all the way at the bottom. Richard Nixon was at a worse position at this point. But when you're comparing yourself to Richard Nixon and you're saying that you're doing better than Richard Nixon in your second term, that's not exactly a good position to be in.
So, as usual, Trump has dishonesty and delusion regarding his polling numbers. He's changing his position on illegal immigrants and focusing on, hey, we really need these people right here, but we're going to continue snatching these people off the street. And he insists that all Americans love the tariffs. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comment section below. Thank you for subscribing to this channel, liking this video, and sharing this video. That's how we grow here. We are a very small channel, but we aim to cut through the left versus right paradigm lie. Join us. It's going to be a long journey, but it will be worth it because I think we can do it. I will see you in the next video.